If it's one thing that I've learned from this month, it is that if you put in the work, if you put in the effort, if you take action, you can achieve things which you probably never thought you could. And that is the biggest takeaway from this month, because I have once again hit a record month. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's CLFurlong, and if you are new here, we're all about running, reselling, lifestyle, and everything in between. And today I'm taking you through my August income report from reselling online via eBay. And it's been an absolute massive month. So many things that have happened, so many great numbers, some big lessons as well. I'm going to take you through all the data, some of the top items sold, what's selling, what's not selling, then some of the facts, the figures, and all the data points. Let's get into it. So here is August 2021. And the first thing that I want to say to you all is this has taken me 8 months to achieve. And what I mean by that is, last month was really good. The month before was better. The month before that was better. And then, as I've progressed through, this month has now become my biggest and best month. And that doesn't necessarily mean that my next month is going to be bigger and better, but that's the way I'm trying to make it, learn, improve, adjust, pivot, and continue to show up and see what you can do. But I want to make it very clear that if you put in the effort, if you build from zero, you can hit some big numbers, right? And I did. I had a really big month, a couple of months in, and then I had a couple of low months, and then it's built back up. And I want to be very clear that, I'm not here to say that, look at me, this is what I've done, but more so saying, this is what I've done, this is how I did it, and hopefully you can learn a tip or two along the way. So August 2021, biggest month yet, we did a total of 238 sales, up from 188 in July. Cost of items this month was almost $1,200. I actually was able to source a fair bit this month. Average cost per item was around $5, a little up by 66 cents. Total revenue for this month, which this just blows my mind, is $6,352. So we're up by about 15%, 16%. Average sale price has come down though, so we're sitting at about $26.70. Total fees, postage cost was $1,700. And $67. So average was around $7.43, which is interesting because this is down by roughly 62 cents as well. So small win there. The total profits, and that's coming at $3,391.75, which is a take-home amount, which was increase of 7.7%, but total margins overall were down by about 4.1%. So massive month, awesome numbers, some lessons to take away from this. Things going up, things going down, and it's always going to be like that. So let's jump into a bit more detail. So as I mentioned, did 238 items, 3 via private sales, so majority being still on eBay. But as you can see here, you've got the top bar, which tells you the cost of goods, sales, post cost, fees, profit, and my total margin. Now, when it comes to fees, this includes promoted fees, this includes, all the variable fees and selling fees, all that jazz. So something to keep in mind there. Now, in terms of the items that I've sold, a deeper dive here, you can see books being the highest quantity, 80 items that I've sold, DVDs being 42, half that, toys, then bringing it down, clothes, collectibles, and you can see the types of things that I am selling. I actually can't remember what that was, something probably very random. But once again, profits being in that books area. I want to be very clear here is books are the most common item that I am sourcing because it's the most easiest for me to do. DVDs at the same point. Toys, it just so happens to be that way. Now, do I enjoy doing them the most? Well, yes and no. Books have just become the easiest workflow for me, and I like being able to find the bundles, the big lots, and also some of those bolo items. One thing I do want to call out in this page as well is you can see some postage paid as some negatives. These are discounts that I was able to get back after the buyer has paid. So, for example, clothes says postage paid was negative $17. Meaning the buyer has paid and I've actually been able to get back $17 in savings. So just something to keep in mind there. These are all the numbers. If you do have questions, do let me know. But as you can see, top 3 categories being books, DVDs, and videos. If you haven't checked out my 80/20 video around what items I'm selling and what's bringing in the most profits or revenue, I do talk about those top 3 items in that video, so you can go check that out. So the top 5 items sold. Now, you've probably seen a lot of these in my last weekly what solds, but over the last 4 or 5 weeks. However, I want to take you through once again just to show you the variety of items that I've been doing. Some of these were sold in 1 week and some were spread across, and some of them I've bundled up just for the conversation for today. So top item number 1 was this HP calculator vintage. I picked this up for $2.50. and it listed it, sold within 24 hours for $119. This was the big item, the big ticket item for this month. Just crazy to see something that you can just pick up quite cheap. I didn't really know anything about it. I knew it was probably going to be worth 50 bucks. I didn't expect it that high. Some new with tags, Levi jeans, sold these for 69 bucks, picked them up for $1.30. The Australian War photographs, there's actually 2 of these books, so I've put them together to show you that I picked up 2 of them for 70 cents each, sold them as a combined total of $125 with $108 profit. But these were actually 2 sales, so they'll split in half. But the books, once again, showing up. This Neighbours DVD being number 4, cost me $4, sold it for 70 bucks, $46 profit. And then the final one there, which was actually a bundle of 3 Dungeons and Dragons books, they cost me a total of $12, sold them for $159.99, coming out with $113 roughly. So what's interesting here is it does have that variation of different things. We've got electronics, we've got some clothes, we've got some books and DVDs. Funnily enough, there's no toys in this one, which is actually my top 3 category. So some cool items for this month, simply just, the ones that either I've had a conversation about or I've just found really exciting to be able to sell. So the first one being this disposable camera, which still had the Kodak Max camera film inside, as you can see there. Sold this for 30 bucks. I only picked it up for, I think it was only $2 or $3, but pretty cool to find this. And yeah, I thought it was just a fun find. Second item is these Duplo vintage Lego pieces. Now, they're Duplo, not Lego, but it's all part of the same brand. I actually found these on the side of the road. I kid you not. And I've kept them around for about 40 days, probably a little longer, and they've sold for $19.15. So buyers paid $9.15 postage, and I've come out with $10 profit. So pretty happy with this one. Now, the JD Robb books, I remember a few of you had asked when I picked these up in one of my thrifting videos, how much should I sell them for? Well, I finally did sell them, and I got 150 bucks plus postage, so pretty happy on that. Now, flops for this month. Now, I want to be very clear, it actually hasn't been too bad, but at the same time, I do want to share where I've lost some money, right? And mainly just with some of the sales, and I've got them listed here. Only about $20 in loss, just on some old item stocks, or just some mistakes I made. Didn't calculate it correctly, or I took a too lower offer, and things like that. So sometimes it happens, but at the same time, sometimes I just want to get things moving, or maybe I've lost money on this and someone's done a combined purchase, so I've made money on something else. So those things do work, but this is part of it, right? It's not all, bells and whistles and sunshine and rainbows, but this isn't that bad, to be honest. I've had it pretty good. I have had one refund open up this morning, just for something that was broken, or I didn't actually know anything about the item, but that will probably come out in September. This is actually pretty good. I can't complain with this. There has been a lot of issues with postage all month, but that's out of my control. Just keeping my customers updated, that comes back on Australia Post. So it's been a pretty solid month. And with that in mind, the wins and lessons for this month. And I think the wins have been a lot of the same. It's the consistency, putting in the work of doing the listings. And I'm going to show you that very soon. Really, I think the big win is, it's obviously my best month yet, but the celebration that I'm having is hitting postage band 5 for my business post, which gets me some additional savings just in time for the price increase from Australia Post. And I think the other big win is some bulk deals, both from a perspective of I was able to source some bulk deals, like get a whole bunch of books and DVDs. And then I've been actually able to offload some of those that, didn't make sense for myself, or was just too much to manage, because it can get a little overwhelming. And I think the lessons for this month has been the grind, friction points, and postage supplies. Three very important areas. Number one, the grind is I'm putting in a lot of work, right? And I think that speaks for itself because of the results, but at the same time, it can get a bit of a grind. And I'm trying to work through that process flow, especially with lockdown and everything that's going on. Sometimes you just get in a rut. Sometimes things aren't as perfect as everything seems, and finding that groove to ensure that you are able to push through, get the results you're looking for, or maybe you push through it and you don't get the results you're looking for. So I think that's a challenging one, not just for everyone else, but for me, right? It's definitely been a challenge with getting the 15 listings every day, and how I've been managing that is doing, whether it's 5 relists and 10 new lists, or 10 relists and 5 new lists. So being very transparent about that, because previously I was just doing new, but I've been trying to clean up the store, clean up a lot of my old stock, because I have over 1,000 items listed, and some of those are 90 days or older. So going through that has taken off a little bit of the pressure of just sitting there getting the grind of 15 listings done. But I also appreciate the new listings as well, because that's where you're probably going to find a lot more of the money. Friction points, and this kind of comes back with the grind and postage supplies, but identifying friction points. As I've continued to grow this month, I have found things that just haven't been working, things where I've been lacking, or things where I maybe been rushing or haven't got a process in place. So they're all things that you need to learn with, and you have to just do that on the fly during this process. So definitely something to manage. And then the big one is Postage Supplies, is keeping on top of those, because I did 200 plus items this month, which means, I'm going through stock of inventory around, bubble wrap, boxes, mailers, all that jazz very, very quick. And staying on top of that was something that I kind of neglected. So I got a few surprises there. So this month coming up, I need to stay on top of that a lot better. So some analytics for the month. So I did 505 items listed, which when we think about that, I average around 16.2 listings per day, which is just incredible. My average daily revenue has jumped up to $204. It was around the 100 and something mark last month, but this month it is soared up big time. That is so close of hitting the target I need if I was to do $100,000 in a single year. The number that I'm looking for is $273. If you can do $273 per day, every day for 365 days, that's $100,000. So we are getting a lot closer to this. And if you want to know a bit more on this, on building that average daily revenue, I would love to share a bit more on that if anyone's curious and how that's progressed over time. Average cycle time for this month has been 49 days of the items that I've sold. So they've been sitting around in my stock, in my boxes, in my tubs, in my storage for 49 days. If I can bring that down, it means I can get things through a lot quicker. Year-to-date view, you can see here on screen, we're looking at January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and how the growth has happened. So it was a smaller margin month this month compared to last month, which was 57.5%, but I'm not complaining because we've still had a huge dollar amount come through in terms of revenue and some profits. Overall though, we've done a total of 859 items. Cost of goods, I'm sitting around $5,000. We've done 28,800 sales. I am rounding a bit here. Postage costs of sitting around 4,800, fees being 4,400, and profit sitting at 14,580 bucks. So I'm sitting at about a 50% margin, which overall pretty happy. Average sales price, total running view, is $36.78. And here is that view just in a graph, so you can see it a bit better of how that journey or that roller coaster really has been. And January being my lowest, Feb and March I jumped up big time, April we dropped, May, June, July, August, things are flying up, and it's great to be able to see this. It'll be interesting to see if I can continue to retain this, continue to make this happen. I'm excited to take on the challenge. I'm excited for September. There is a lot of challenges happening at the moment, so I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying that anyone can just pick this up and do it overnight. It's taken me literally 8 months to achieve this, from the snowballing, from the learnings, from the lessons, and that's why I'm sharing this, right? So people can understand how I got here, how long it's taken, and what it's looked like along the way. Now, the final view here is the business view, which this financial year I wanted to make sure that I was sharing my accounting view as well, so people can see where things are bleeding in terms of costs, expenses, and things like that, because eBay isn't the only thing, and there's still probably a little bit more I can add to this. But from an accounting view, August we did pretty well still. We actually profited less than last month, even though we did higher revenue. But I purchased more stock this month. I actually purchased 427 items. New stock was only 341, but the biggest expense this month was postage supplies, storage supplies, and stationery. I had to update, had to get some more printing supplies, I had to get some more storage tubs, I had to get some more postage supplies, and I actually did a big purchase just before the prices went up from Australia Post as well. That's really drilled down into my margins for this month, which hopefully September I won't have as many expenses. So these are all things to really consider. If you've got questions about this, do let me know. The other thing I want to take you through is Profit First. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Profit First is perfect, that Profit First is going to work, and these are my numbers, so it's a disclaimer. This is not advice, this is just what I'm doing. But as an example, mine is slightly different still, just because there's some fine tuning. But you can see here for this FY, my total income is roughly around $11,831. That's the money that's been paid out to me from eBay. And that includes maybe some of the rollover from June 2021 as well, because I got paid out on the 6th of July for the new financial year. But that's why these numbers are a little rough and aren't going to add up exactly. But my income for this financial year so far has been around $11,831. And when I mean income, that's the money that is coming to my pocket from eBay payouts or from private sales, which means I then split that up. And these percentage allocations have actually changed over the month, so I'm showing you the numbers at the end of the month. But my OPEX, when I get paid out I have $4,732 go to my OPEX. Now I get paid out weekly, so this is a combined view, a running view, and it's a little wishy-washy, but this is to give you an example of how I'm spreading my money on a monthly basis, but more so when it comes in weekly, what it looks like. So I would have split out 40% to operating expenses, 5% to profits, which go away for like a quarterly dividend, and then 40% to my owner's pay, which is the stuff I actually take out on a monthly basis, and then 15% gets allocated to tax. So they're just some little ways that I have been doing the management of profit first. I'm not following it to the book, to the dot. I mean, like, there's still a lot of things that I haven't been doing, but this ensures that I stay on top of my finances and managing the cash flow on a week-to-week or monthly basis. So there you go. That is August 2021. It has been an absolute crazy month. It's just been exciting to see those numbers soar, and it's not even the best month in terms of margins and, you know, potential profits that have come out. I think there could have been a lot more opportunity if I had managed my postage supplies a bit better, so I didn't have to go spend as much. There's plenty of lessons in this, and I think that's the big takeaway is when you go into these things is you need to learn how to manage all the stuff behind the scenes, because doing it, you know, small stuff on the side, it's great, it's easy, but when you start to scale, there's so many additional costs, so many other things you have to manage, and those are things that you can only learn through that experience. And you know, there's so many more things here which I have yet to understand. I'm still learning every day. I'm getting hot tips from people, and I really do appreciate that here. I'm here to share my journey, but at the same time, I'm not here to say that this is the answer. This is the the best way to do things. This has just been the best way for me, and I'm still learning on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. So there's plenty of folks out there which I can thank so much for getting me to this point, because I've learned so much from them. And I think that's super key, is that when you jump into this, it's never going to be all sunshine, rainbows. Yes, you might hit some numbers like this, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's literally taken me 8 months to get to this point. So I want to be very clear with that. Anyway, if you do have questions, if you do have concerns, difference of opinions, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. Happy to have the conversation, continue the discussion. Of course, if there's other things you would like to see as well, let me know. Really appreciate you guys being here, part of this journey, coming along for the ride. And yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle. Ciao.